This video contains violent content and is just for entertainment purposes, so don't spread hate and non-personality comments. If you're homophobic, please leave. Thank you. When he gave himself to Mafia King to save his friend's life. The remaining dimension was quiet that night. Shadows stretching long across the marble floors. Theog had just returned from a mission with his man. His expression still cold, stone cold, his jaw tense from the call he had made earlier. No on lips after thinking of hurting my family. The weight of those words still buried in his chest. As soon as the front door closed behind him, the mask left his shoulder. His shoulders sagged, his eyes reached the sharp commander, looking exhausted. He didn't acknowledge the guy who boarded his arrival. He didn't care about reports about weakness, about the bar he made. All he wanted was Jungkook. He went straight past the staff of the stair down the familiar corridor and onto the room where Jungkook sat reading on the couch. Jungkook looked up, startled, Mr. Mafek, and before he could finish, Young dropped down beside him and pulled him into his arms again tightly. No words, just silence. His head pressed into Jungkook's shoulder, his breathing shaky but steady against Jungkook's warmth. Jungkook froze for a side point. The book slipped down from his hands. Could feel Theong's weight, his strength, his desperation hidden under the embrace. Theong, he whispered softly, not daring to move. Theong said nothing. He just held him tighter as though if he let go, the world might shatter around him. His fingers curled into Jungkook's back, trembling slightly, betraying just enough to be much he had holding in. For a moment, Jungkook didn't know what to do, but then slowly, cautiously, he lifted his arms and hugged Theong back. His hand slipped up Theong's back, patting it gently like one would to soothe a child. The strong feared Mafia again clinging to him silently like he was the only safe place in the world. Jungkook's throat tightened, his voice was barely above a whisper, "You're home now, Chuck, I'm here," and Theon finally let out a long breath, half relieved, half exhausted. He didn't speak, but Jungkook could feel the way his body relaxed in his arm, the way his silent embrace carried emotions no word could deny. Jungkook shifted slightly in Theon's arm, cheeks burning. The silence had stretched on too long. And it was so unlike Tiang, the ruthless mafia king who could command a room with a single player to just sulk in his embrace like a child, his softly sugar patting Tiang's back. Who would have thought the terrifying mafia king is actually just a silent hugger? Tiang froze, then slowly pulled back, just enough to clear at him, his lips judged slightly in a pout. "Don't call me that right now," Jungkook tilted his head. "Then what should I call you, Soggy King?" He narrowed his eyes, tightening his hold as if punishing him with more hugs. "You think you're funny, Bunny," he muttered, burying his face in Hyung's neck, soaking harder. Hyung burst into a soft laughter, his chest shaking. "You're impossible, Hyung." Hyung didn't reply. Instead, he lifted his head slowly, his gaze heavy and unreadable. He leaned closer, his lips hovering just inches away. His breath was warm against Jungkook's skin. His voice dropped low, husky. "May I?" Jungkook's eyes widened, his heart thundering violently. His lips parted, but no words came out, only a faint nod, shy but desperate. That was all Young needed. He closed the gap, kissing Jungkook's lips softly, as it was gentle, almost hesitant. Jungkook kissed his hand, instinctively clutching Young's sheer thigh. Young tilted his head, deepening the kiss, tasting the sweetness he had craved for long. When he Jungkook's cheeks were crimson, his lips glistening, his breath uneven, but Young wasn't done. He drilled kisses down Jungkook's jaw, then low, pushing his lips against the delicate skin of Jungkook's neck. His voice was husky, whisper against him. "You have no idea how much I missed you. How much I missed you." Jungkook couldn't stop the small drumming sound that escaped his throat, a soft moan that betrayed the storm of emotions inside him. He had tilted back slightly, glinting. Young more space, granting more space without even realizing it. Young moved against his skin, kissing it again, slow this time, savoring. "Second, beautiful," he murmured, "absolutely beautiful." Jungkook finger curled tighter into his shirt, trembling. Young pulled back just enough to look into his eyes, dark, full of need, but also guilt, love, and longing. He pushed his thumb off Jungkook's cheeks gently. "You have no idea how much you mean to me, Bunny." The air between them was thick, heavy with the heat. After that kiss, the young lips were still brushed against Jungkook's neck, leaving the boy shivering in his arms. Young Jungkook whispered, clutching onto his shirt as if before his only lifeline. His cheeks were scalded, his chest rising and falling fast. Young pulled back just enough to look at him, his eyes burning with bold guilt and desire. Then he muttered, pushing his thumb against Jungkook's lips, "I want you to claim me, Jungkook. I blew him besides Riley. Claim you." A smirked up at Young's lips, leaned in, his voice husky against Jungkook's ears. His money marked that tell the world I'm yours. Jungkook's eyes widened, what his ears turned red, and he steamed, pushing lights at Young's chest. I can't, Young. I caught his fist, spinning him gently above Jungkook's head against the couch. He moved dangerously close, his lips just Brushing Jungkook's skin, don't worry, I'll teach you. Before Jungkook could protest, Hyun strong found his neck, cooking, kissing softly, then circling harder. Until Jungkook guessed he bit down lightly, his tongue soothing the spot, leaving a deep mark. Loosening on Jungkook's pale skin, Jungkook whimpered, trying to wiggle away. Taeyong, it feels good. Taeyong teeth smackling against his skin. It should. Now your turn. Jungkook blinked at him in horror. My turn? Taeyong leaned back, exposing the bottom of his own throat, tilting his head to the side. His eyes never left Jungkook's full of heat and command. Here, he pointed at the side of his neck. Right here, marked the many. Jungkook's heart, hand on his chest, his hands shook as he leaned close, his lips raising Taeyong's skin tamely. I don't know how Taeyong chuckled darkly. So God, don't be afraid, you won't break me. Jungkook pressed furiously, but obeyed, pressing his lips to Taeyong's neck. This sucked highly at first, then harder. Taeyong's hand slid to the back of his head, urging him on. Yeah, just like that. Taeyong ground his voice low and dropped harder, but he let them see who I belong to. Jungkook whispered against his skin, but obeyed, looking until a red mark belonged to his pulled back, painting his lips glistening. Taeyong's eyes darkened as he stared at him, lifting his hand to touch the fresh egg. He was satisfied, picked his milk, curved his lips. Perfect. Jungkook hid his face in Taeyong's chest. Burning red, you're evil. Taeyong smiled, but his heart was racing like a teenager in love. He tilted Jungkook's chin up, admiring the achy Jungkook had just learned to give him. Purple messy, but his. Look at you, Bunny. You marked me. Your lips did this. He leaned closer, pushing their nose together. Do you know what this means? No one can look at me and think I'm free. Jungkook lips parted, breath shaky. You like it this much? Taeyong chuckled softly, but the depth in his tone gave him away. Like Jungkook, I'm addicted. You're everything me for anyone else. These mark. He tucked his collar down, exposing the dark of his spot on his neck and collarbone. I prove I belong to you. Jungkook's face went red, his hand instinctively covering his mouth in embarrassment. Hyun caught his hand and kissed his knuckles, his voice softer now. Don't hide, baby, you don't know what you do to me. He pushed Jungkook back gently into the pillow and let his head on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. You have got me completely head over heels. If the world be burned tomorrow, I'll still thank it for giving me you. Jungkook tightened his arm around him, his shyness slowly melting into warmth. You're crazy, Theong. Theong looked up with a boyish grin, eyes sparkling with both love and obsession. Crazy for you, Bunny, and I'm never getting better. The light was warm as Theong walked down the staircase, his usual intimidating muffin aura wrapped around him, but today there was something different. His hair was tossed from the night before, his lips a little too red, and his shirt deliberately unbuttoned lower than usual. The reason the dark, fresh shake scattered across the throat and collarbone, bold and undeniable. The bodyguard standing near the entrance froze for a second, eyes widening before quickly lowering their head respectfully, but Theon caught the flicker of surprise in them when the house help passing by looked embarrassed. But Theon, oh, he was so proud, he smirked slightly, one hand casually into his pocket, tilting his head just enough to make the mark visible. Morning, he said coolly, voice soothing but teasing it. You see these? He tugged at his collar a little shamelessly. Of the deep bruises Jungkook had given him, Mama did this. The guard scuffed, trying hard to hide their reaction, but Theong only chuckled darkly, his chest swelling with pride. He's mine, and now the whole world knows that. Jungkook had just entered the yard with messy hair, and a mug of coffee froze when he realized what Theong was doing. His eyes wide and young, his cheeks flushing. Don't say that in front of them. The moment Jungkook's cheeks turned red and his bunny powder appeared, Theong rose. At first he thought it was just the usual shy reaction, but then Jungkook stayed quiet, refusing to meet his eye. Theong's heart dropped. Did I embarrass him too much? Did I hurt him again? Without a second thought, the proud mafia leader, the man who made enemies poor to him, slowly sank to his knees in front of Jungkook. Right there in the hallway, the bodyguard stiff and shocked, even some exchanging glances, but Theong didn't care. Head bowed down, he placed both hands on his thighs and whispered in a low voice with guilt, Bunny, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. I was proud, I was happy, but I embarrassed you, didn't I? Jungkook's eye widened, his heart twisting painfully at the sight. This was Kim Hyung, the failed mafia, kneeling behind him, voice trembling with regret. Hyung Jungkook stepped closer, his pout softening into worry. No, get up, please. But Hyung only shook his head, his voice breaking. I'm sorry, Bunny, I keep messing you. I'm messing up. Forgive. First I gave you scar, now I embarrassed you. I can't stop failing you. Please forgive me. I'll never Hyung. Jungkook crouched down in front of him, cupping his face with both hands, desperate for him to look at me, but Hyung lashes stay low, his forehead nearly pressing to the ground. I'm sorry, Bunny, I hurt you again. I can't forgive myself. I'm sorry. Jungkook's just tightened. He couldn't let this Hyung drown in guilt like this. Hyung gave his voice trembling but firm, and before Hyung could repeat another apology, Jungkook leaned and pressed his lips to Hyung's neck, grazing the skin before sucking gently, leaving her behind a fresh boutique right beside the others. Hyung closed, breath hitching, and finally raised his eyes wide in disbelief. Jungkook pulled back, cheeks burning, but his eyes locked into Young's. That's my answer. Don't really look at me like this, Young. You didn't hurt me, you just made me shy. And if you're about to show everyone, he bit his lips nervously. Then I want to give you one more reason to be proud. For a moment, Young couldn't speak, his throat tight. With a shaky exhale, he crushed Jungkook into his arms. Face in Bunny's neck, you'll be the death of me, Jungkook. Jungkook crushed even harder, hiding his face in Taeyoung's chest while the bodyguards silently pretended that they hadn't just witnessed the most powerful mafia leader fall on his knees for his funny. The air scratched gently in the distance, the evening sun dipping lower, painting the sky in the shades of gold and pink. The entire stretch of beach had been decorated with soft lanterns, glowing candles, placed in glass jar, and a pathway of white petals leading straight to a small wooden arch draped with fairy lights and white roses. Theung stood at the center, dressed in a simple white shirt and black slacks, looking devastatingly beautiful, yet nervous as his hand fished behind his back. Every single piece of his decoration had been done by himself, no assistant, no man, just his own effort, because for Jungkook, his money is everything. Jungkook walked slowly down the battered path, wide eyes at the sight before him. His chest tightened with his gaze fell on Hyung. His Hyung standing there waiting. Hyung, he whispered, stand. You did all this. Hyung gave him a shaky smile as already glossy for you, penny only for you. As Jungkook creased him, Hyung suddenly went down, whining, pulling out a small box, valuable boxes, and trembled as he opened it, revealing a simple yet elegant silver band with a small diamond. Jungkook, his voice cracked, filled with emotion. I know I don't deserve you. I gave you scars. I locked you in my world. I forced you into my life with mistakes. I'll regret till the existence of my life, and still you stayed. You changed me. You gave me warmth when all I knew I was cold. You gave me love, and when I didn't ask for it, you made me human again. Jungkook's eyes blurred with tears. Hyung broke down, voice trembling. I didn't want to force you anymore. I'm not asking you out of guilt or desperation. I'm asking you because I love you, Jungkook, with everything I am. Will you marry me not as a position, but as my heart, as my life? Jungkook's spirit fell freely, and he didn't even hesitate. He dropped to his knees, throwing his arms around Hyung's neck. Yes, I love you. I love you so much. I can't believe that you. I was angry. I hated what you did was that. Then you changed, you appeared to love me without even saying it, and I felt for you. I felt so hard, and I don't want to get up, so yes, I'll marry you. The ring slipped under the finger, the kiss soft and deep, salty tears mixing with the taste of the sea breeze. From behind the arch, soft claps spoke in the moment. Jacob fell back in surprise, turning to see Jenny and Jackson. Stepping out, both smiling warmly, Jacob gasped, "Mona!" Jenny's head rested on 7 pregnant belly as she approached, her eyes shining with affection. Jackson held her steady, his gaze fixed on the earth. The young smile faltered immediately, his hand dropped, and he looked away. His jaw tight, his gun screamed at him, memories of finding a gun at Jackson and blackmailing Jacob with Jenny's life. He couldn't meet their eyes. Jenny noticed this instantly, her steps slowly until she stood in front of him, tilting her head. Like the protective elder sister she was, she stepped, still refusing to look. Jenny sighed, her tone from maternity. Look at me, you're still the same boy who did wrong, but you're not hiding anymore. You have changed your tone. I have seen it with how you treat Jungkook now, how you love him. Him throat tightened, but he stayed silent. Jenny reached out, cupping his cheeks like my older sister, scolding her stubborn brother. I haven't forgotten what you did, but I forgive you because you have proved yourself. Don't run away from my eyes anymore. You're part of family now. Jackson stepped forward, then putting Theong in a firmly brotherly hug. Theong froze, eyes widening, before his hands slowly clutched Jackson's back. You nearly killed me, man. Jackson chuckled softly, but if you hadn't changed, if you hadn't earned our Jungkook's heart, I would never forgive you now. Welcome to the family for a year. Tears slipped again, but this time they were not from guilt, they were from relief, from love for finally being accepted. He pulled Jungkook close into the hug, holding onto him like his hand grew and under the lanterns. The ocean waves that witnessed the four of them laughed and cried together like a true family. The end. Special episode. Subscribe if you like it, press the bell icon for getting immediate notifications for further videos. Thank you for reading.